A couple years ago, anyone making this video would have been seen as crazy, and it may even seem crazy now. Videos were piling on the internet about why Lamelo was not ready for the league like his brother Leangelo. However, after a few years in the league, I think Lamelo has the potential to be the next great. Now before we even get into Lamelo's development in the NBA, let's examine his development at a young age. We've talked before a little bit about how the NBA is expanding to international markets and having more foreign players make the switch, wreaking havoc on the NBA, such as Rudy Gobert, Giannis, Luka, and so on. I won't go into it right now to stretch the video, but a friend of the channel and amazing creator, Swiss Eel, has a video diving into the growing popularity and talent of foreign players. That video is attached in the card above, and I recommend you go watch it. Well, Lamelo was already playing in international leagues like this in Lithuania at only 16. Admittedly, he wasn't doing anything crazy in Lithuania, averaging only 6 points, but then he went to Australia. At only 18, Lamelo was putting up these kinds of numbers: 17 points along with almost 2 steals and 8 rebounds a game. Lamelo was doing this in a league of professional foreign players in their 30s. All Lamelo had to do after that, once he was drafted, was transfer those skills to the US League of the NBA. Lamelo also has a unique build that is slowly becoming more popular in the league, that being the tall point guard. LaMelo Ball is playing the point guard position despite being 6'8", which is usually a height for a small forward. With this height, LaMelo is able to play an incredible defense game, getting blocks and rebounds. But again, he's a point guard. LaMelo, even with his height, is able to get low and get steals like a 6-foot Chris Paul. LaMelo also has another amazing skill that allows him to play the point guard position despite being a small forward height that we haven't even touched on yet: his passing and basketball IQ. LaMelo has incredible court vision and is able to make even the most difficult of passes. There are countless highlights of him making alley-oops, through the lane passes, finding open teammates, and so on. LaMelo knows how to make plays and provide for his teammates, even having fun with it sometimes, creating flashy plays that are all over social media the next day. Once again, we can compare that to rivaling that only of CP3, often referred to as the point god, being known for his basketball IQ and court vision. And if you still doubt me, listen to what some of these NBA players say about him.
Looking forward to tomorrow. You got a rookie point guard, LaMelo Ball. Just wanted to get your thoughts on him and how he's playing.
He looks very comfortable. Looks like he understands what he's trying to do out there. He sees the floor extremely well, and when you transition to the league, that's a huge benefit. You don't really put too much pressure on yourself because you're able to create and get the ball at the right spot and let the talented guys around you shine and make them better. And that's what a good point guard does. So he looks pretty comfortable for a rookie, out there, and he's been playing well. I feel like he's getting better, which that's the trend you want to be on.
Carmelo, you told me last year, as a matter of fact, I asked you about mentoring the young players. And you told me that, you felt like you should give back to the game. And you spoke a little bit about LaMelo. When you look at his game, what do you like about his game? What do you see in his game that should translate further down in his career?
Well, his poise, his court savviness, his IQ of the game at such a young age, it's hard to teach that. That's a gift that he has. I also think that going and playing in Australia, where he was at, I think it was Australia or New Zealand, one of them, having that 1 year playing on the professional level really prepared him for coming over here and being used to, the physicality of the game, the pace of the game. And anytime you can have pro experience, that always helps. And as you can see, he's coming in, he's getting more comfortable with the game. As games goes on, he's getting more comfortable. And he'll be here for a long time. You guys will be talking about Melo for a long time.
How good do you think he can ultimately be? Well, look, Rachel, listen, you know I was saying on draft night that the New York Knicks needed to grab this kid. He was a superstar in the making, and he is showing that right now. But look, when you look at this guy, it's about time that the head coach gave him the keys to the car because he's been ready for this moment. He is showtime. He possibly has the potential to be the face of the NBA in a couple of years. He is a baby Magic Johnson in the making. I cannot wait for fans to all the way be able to come back to arenas because it is going to be sellout crowds down there in Charlotte, North Carolina. He's everything that I thought and more, and he is just flat out box office.
So even with all that said, how can Lamelo be the next GOAT? Well, let's talk about his ceiling. I think Lamelo can have a similar career to Magic Johnson.
Definitely not a good name.
I like that one. Yeeks. That's good.
No, seriously. Let's evaluate the points that we've made. LaMelo Ball is a 6'8 point guard. Similarly, Magic was 6'9, both pushing the limits of a tall point guard. We also talked about LaMelo's basketball IQ and playmaking ability. You can ask anyone who the best point guard of all time is, and most will say Magic because of his ability to pass the ball and play make. And LaMelo is en route to have the same reputation for how he can facilitate. Magic was also known for being able to play with either hand to further help him pass and play make. If we go to LaMelo Ball's scouting report, it mentions the same thing as well as, again, his passing ability, saying that LaMelo has great coordination with the dribble and ambidextry is a strong plus. LaMelo has behind the back crossovers, euro steps, and inside out dribbles are often working, approaching the best imaginable passer one could hope for with the 18-year-old prospect, and that not enough praise can be given to LaMelo in this regard. And if we look at the stat sheet, we can see LaMelo in his first 2 years is averaging similar numbers to Magic in his first 2 years. Now obviously, Magic and LaMelo are 3 decades apart and a lot has changed in the NBA in that time. Magic Johnson will always be known as the man who won Finals MVP as a rookie. But LaMelo was also the youngest player to get a triple-double prior to Josh Giddey, and was the first player in 60 years to lead rookies in every category, showing his versatility on the floor as we discussed, and winning Rookie of the Year. With LaMelo's stats, it's possible he could even be one of the only players in history, along with players like Hakeem and David Robinson, with a quad-double. I know that's a crazy prediction to make. Even if you were with me for the whole video, saying that probably made you click off or dislike, but hear me out. He's leading where Magic was in nearly all categories, and we've gone at length this whole video about what LaMelo is capable of with this height and basketball IQ. He's already a triple-double threat every single night. All he has to do is increase his vertical for either more blocks or get 10 steals on top of his other stats, which is very possible with his skill set. While originally NBA fans may have doubted seeing LaMelo hold an NBA jersey on draft night, I think it's very possible by the end that same jersey will be hanging in the rafters.